Hold on, because what I'm about to tell you is sending shockwaves through Social Security communities nationwide. Over the last 24 hours, headlines have exploded with talk of a historic comeback bill reportedly tied to former President Donald Trump, a proposal that, if true, could mean a $3,200 boost for Social Security recipients and a potential $2,000 stimulus before Christmas. But here's the thing: the internet is flooded with mixed information. Some claim it's real, others say it's political hype. And millions of seniors, SSDI recipients, and struggling families are left asking the same urgent question. Is this actually happening or just another rumor before the holidays? In this video, we're breaking everything down clearly, simply, and without the confusion. You'll find out what's really being proposed and what is not confirmed, where the $3,200 Social Security increase rumor started, whether a $2,000 Christmas stimulus is even possible under current law, what Congress and federal agencies have officially said, and most importantly, what this means for you and your benefits heading into the new year. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or you're just trying to keep your family afloat during the holidays, you cannot afford to miss the next few minutes. Before we dive in, do me one quick favor: tap that like button so this crucial information reaches more seniors, families, and Americans who need clarity right now. Your like truly helps. The moment we start talking about Social Security boosts, stimulus checks, or anything involving federal benefits, emotions run high, and for good reason. For millions of Americans, especially seniors and disability recipients, every dollar counts. So when rumors start swirling about a so-called historic comeback bill, supposedly linked to former President Donald Trump and packed with numbers like a $3,200 Social Security increase and a $2,000 stimulus before Christmas, it's no surprise that people get hopeful, confused, or even frustrated. That's exactly why today's video is so important. We're not here to sell hype or push headlines. We're here to unpack what's being talked about, what has been confirmed, what has not been confirmed, and what all of this realistically means for you and your household as we head toward the holiday season. Now, let's start with the basics: why these rumors are spreading so fast and why they're being shared now. Every time we get close to the end of the year, the internet becomes a breeding ground for Social Security rumors because people are desperately looking for financial clarity. Bills pile up, heating costs rise, food prices don't seem to drop. Families start planning for Christmas while trying to stretch paychecks that already feel too thin. In moments like this, the idea of a last-minute federal boost sounds like a lifeline. And when that potential boost is tied to a high-profile political figure like Trump, the rumor spreads even faster because it taps into national attention and strong emotions on both sides. But here's the reality: big numbers like $3,200 and $2,000 don't appear out of thin air. They always originate from somewhere, sometimes from early-stage proposals, sometimes from misinterpreted data, and sometimes from social media creators who pull details from unrelated bills and stitch them together into something that sounds official. The $3,200 figure, for example, has often popped up when people calculate combined COLA increases over multiple years or misunderstand totals from proposed but never passed legislation. Meanwhile, the $2,000 stimulus rumor traces back to pandemic-era proposals that went viral years ago but no longer have active legislative backing. That's exactly why you're seeing videos, posts, and comments flooding your feed again now. People are mixing old proposals with new headlines, creating confusion that spirals into belief. And for someone living on a fixed income, hope can feel like a necessity. But hope should always be paired with clarity, and that clarity is what we're diving into next. Let's talk about Social Security first, the part of the rumor claiming that beneficiaries could receive a $3,200 boost. In order for something like that to happen, a new law would need to be passed either by Congress or through an executive action tied to existing authority. A former president cannot pass or authorize current federal payments unless Congress supports and approves the changes. At this moment, no confirmed legislation exists that guarantees a $3,200 increase hitting accounts before Christmas or at any specific date. What does exist are discussions, proposals, and campaign-themed ideas floating around, but none of these have been enacted into law. That means that for now, the number itself is not a confirmed benefit. But that doesn't mean change isn't needed or being talked about. In fact, across both parties, Republicans and Democrats, there's been increasing pressure to update the Social Security system. Rising costs, longer lifespans, and outdated formulas have placed enormous strain on the program. Lawmakers on all sides have acknowledged the need for adjustments, but there has been no unified agreement on how to implement changes. That's why every few months, you'll hear talk of new bills, new benefit increases, or new supplemental payments. Some get introduced, some get debated, some never get voted on, and some never make it past headlines. Now let's shift to the other half of the rumor, the idea that a $2,000 stimulus check could arrive before Christmas. Stimulus checks are not like standard Social Security payments. They require congressional approval through a formal relief package. Historically, stimulus payments happened during moments of national crisis like the pandemic, which required emergency financial support to stabilize the economy. Right now, there is no confirmed emergency stimulus program approved by Congress, and no law has been passed guaranteeing a $2,000 payment for December. That's just the truth. However, and this part is important, stimulus discussions tend to surface again whenever economic conditions grow unstable or public pressure increases. High inflation, rising interest rates, and increased debt burdens have sparked new debates in Congress about whether additional relief might be necessary for lower and middle-income Americans. So while a Christmas stimulus has not been approved, the conversation around financial relief is very much alive. Some creators online twist talks or debates into claims like money approved, checks arriving, or payments guaranteed. But debates and approvals are not the same thing. A bill can be talked about for months, but until it is voted on and signed into law, it is not real. And that's the clarity many people don't get when they first hear the rumors. Now, let's address a question that a lot of viewers ask whenever these headlines pop up. If this isn't confirmed, then why does it feel like everyone is saying it is? The answer is simple: the internet rewards attention, not accuracy. A dramatic title spreads faster than an honest explanation. A bold claim grabs views quicker than a slow, factual breakdown. And when people are stressed and searching for financial relief, they tend to click on anything that sounds promising. That's why we make videos like this, because someone needs to provide the truth in a way that's still clear, engaging, and respectful to the people who deserve real answers, not hype. But this conversation isn't just about debunking rumors. It's about understanding what is happening behind the scenes. Right now, there are multiple Social Security reform ideas floating in Washington. Some propose raising monthly benefits. Others focus on adjusting the cost of living formula to better match inflation. Others propose supplemental payments for seniors at or below a certain income threshold. None of these proposals have become law, but they show that benefit adjustments are a major national conversation and that the pressure for change is growing. Many lawmakers argue that Social Security benefits have not kept pace with real inflation, especially considering the rising costs of housing, utilities, medical care, and groceries. Some have suggested that a one-time supplemental payment, something like a relief bonus, could be a short-term solution. Others suggest a more permanent restructuring of the benefit formula. But again, while these conversations are active, no final legislation has been passed. So where does that leave you, someone watching this video, hoping for real financial updates? It leaves you in a place where staying informed is more important than ever. The last thing you need is misinformation causing false hope or unnecessary stress. That's why understanding what Washington is actually doing is the key to keeping control of your expectations. Now, let's talk about timing, because timing matters. Even if Congress introduced a bill today, the legislative process takes time. It has to go through committees. It has to be debated. It has to be revised. It has to be voted on. And then, if it passes both the House and Senate, it has to be signed by the sitting president. That process rarely happens overnight, and almost never happens in the final days before Christmas. That's another reason why rumors of a last-minute December payment often turn out to be unrealistic, because government systems don't move that fast. But here's something important: while the rumored bill itself isn't confirmed, there are legitimate updates happening with Social Security that will impact you soon. One of the biggest is the annual cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA. This yearly increase is automatically determined based on inflation data, and it affects every Social Security recipient. Depending on the year, COLA can be small or significant. And while it may not be the dramatic $3,200 spike some rumors claim, it is a real and guaranteed increase that affects millions of beneficiaries. On top of that, Payment schedules for January and early February often lead to confusion when people receive more payments in one month than usual. Some people interpret these schedule shifts as bonus checks or extra benefits, when in reality, it's just the calendar causing certain payments to land earlier than normal. That's how additional rumors sometimes start and why you may see videos claiming that people are getting 3 checks when it's simply a timing shift caused by weekends or holidays. Let's also talk about why political names like Trump get tied into financial rumors so easily. Anytime a political figure announces a policy idea, launches a campaign, mentions benefit reform, or references seniors, content creators online jump at the opportunity to attach dramatic headlines to that person's name. That doesn't mean the person actually passed something. It simply means their name creates strong emotional reactions, which increases clicks and views. So when someone titles a post with "Trump approves," that does not automatically mean a new law exists. It often means a proposal was discussed or that supporters want something to happen. But discussion is not authorization. Wanting something is not official policy. And headlines are not legislation. Now, I want to talk directly to the viewer for a moment because I know how overwhelming this can feel. If you're living on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, you're dealing with challenges that most people never fully understand. You're stretching a fixed income while costs keep rising. You're trying to plan for Christmas, pay for medications, cover rent or utilities, and still have something left over. So when you hear about a possible boost, even if it's just a rumor, it's natural to feel hopeful. It's natural to want it to be true. And it's completely understandable to search for answers. That's why I take these videos seriously, because behind every view is a real person trying to make sense of real financial pressure. So here's what you can count on. If any real law passes, if Congress approves a Social Security increase, a stimulus check, a supplemental payment, or any type of relief, you will hear it from credible sources first. Federal agencies will post it. News outlets will cover it. And I'll be right here breaking it down for you in simple, clear language so you never have to guess what's real and what isn't. My goal is not to feed hype, it's to give you truth, clarity, and confidence. As we move through the rest of this season, more rumors will inevitably pop up. Some will sound promising. Some will sound scary. Some will sound too good to be true. But you don't have to navigate that alone. Every time a new claim surfaces, I'll analyze it. I'll debunk what's false. I'll explain what's real. I'll walk you through what government documents actually say. And most importantly, I'll make sure you understand how any changes affect your benefits and your household. And if you want to stay updated the right way, without misinformation, without confusion, and without empty promises, make sure you're paying attention to videos like this one. Staying informed is the best defense against financial misinformation. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. There may not be a confirmed $3,200 Social Security increase or a $2,000 Christmas stimulus right now, but that doesn't mean change isn't possible in the future. It means the process is still unfolding. It means conversations are happening. It means lawmakers are under pressure. And it means your voice, your vote, and your awareness matter more than ever. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay tuned, because the moment something real happens, you'll be the first to know. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video so more people can get the truth instead of the rumors. Your support helps this channel cut through the confusion and keep real information flowing.